Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. This is episode 162. I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne. It's great to be here.
So today we're getting into something I think is on a lot of our minds. It's this core question. Is AI actually freeing up our time, or is it just, changing the work into something else? Maybe even something more stressful.
Exactly. It's a huge question. And this topic was suggested by our producer, Curt Robbins. We're basing our conversation today on a really fantastic article by Dr. Liz Gerber. It's called The AI Paradox We Promise to Free Us, Will It?
Okay.
And that was published on LinkedIn back on December 10th, 2025.
And what's so great about it is where she starts. It's not with AI at all, is it?
No, not at all. She immediately pulls in this historical perspective from a historian named Ruth Schwartz Cowan from way back in 1983.
Right, from her book, More Work for Mother.
And it's such a brilliant parallel. Cowan looked at so-called labor-saving devices in the home and found, well, they did the opposite.
They didn't save labor, they just raised the bar.
Precisely. The standards just shot through the roof.
You take the washing machine, it was sold as this miracle that would give women all this leisure time.
Oh, it didn't.
No. Suddenly the expectation wasn't clean clothes for Sunday, it was pristine clothes every single day.
Because you could. The tool was there, so why wouldn't you? It created more work, not less. The volume just exploded.
And it's the same story with the vacuum cleaner, right? It promised leisure, but delivered, an obsession with perfectly clean carpets.
And the refrigerator, too. It was pure convenience, but it also created this new burden of keeping a kitchen fully stocked at all times. The job just shifted from, say, canning and preserving to constant inventory management.
So if we map that thinking onto AI today, it's the same pattern. The technology doesn't get rid of the work, it just changes the job description.
Yes. The promise is we'll free you from boring emails and data entry. But we should all be a little skeptical about what rushes in to fill that void.
Because it's almost never just free time.
It's never free time. And that skepticism is already proving to be pretty well-founded in the workplace.
We're already seeing it. That efficiency gain is just being swallowed whole by more volume and new expectations.
Take an executive, for example. They use AI to summarize meetings, to draft reports, and sure, that saves them time. But the new, unwritten expectation is that they should now be able to handle 5 times as many emails, or sit in 3 more meetings. The volume just expands to fill the available efficiency.
It's like you're on a treadmill, and someone just keeps turning up the speed. You're running faster, but you're not getting anywhere new.
That's a perfect way to put it, and it's not just a corporate thing. Dr. Gerber pointed to the nonprofit world, too.
Okay. How does it play out there?
Well, nonprofit leaders can now use AI to streamline grant writing, which is a huge, laborious task.
That sounds like a clear win.
It does on the surface.
Right.
But it doesn't mean they use that saved time to, serve the community more.
So what do?
They feel the pressure to apply for 10 times as many grants. The standard for grant output just skyrockets.
But hold on. If they get 5 times the funding because of that, isn't that a net positive? Isn't that helping them achieve their mission?
That's the really tricky part. Yes, the funding is a positive outcome, but it risks changing the very nature of the job.
How so?
If you spend all your time managing a massive portfolio of grant applications, you stop being a community leader and you become essentially a professional grant manager. The meaning of the work shifts, and that has a real cost.
And that leads to maybe the most dangerous cost.
Yeah.
The cognitive one.
Yes. Think about a college applicant writing their personal essay. That's supposed to be a struggle, right? It's where they figure out who they are.
Right. The friction is the point.
The friction is the entire point. But if you just ask an AI, hey, make this sound better, you short-circuit that whole process of reflection and self-discovery. You automate away the growth.
And the article mentions research showing that kids who do this actually feel, disconnected from their own writing.
Deeply disconnected. They feel like the words aren't theirs. They gain speed, but they lose ownership. They lose that hard-won clarity.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast. Before the break, we were talking about the risk of automating away the very struggle that leads to growth and understanding.
Yeah, and that leads directly into this idea of what you could call tech hubris.
It does. AI systems are built to do one thing, really, optimize. They solve for efficiency, for productivity, for scale, because those are math problems.
And whatever can't be measured or quantified.
It gets ignored or gets discarded. Things like human flourishing, a sense of meaning, real connection, finding your authentic voice, these aren't optimization problems.
They're human problems.
They're human problems, and when you try to apply a mathematical solution to a human problem, you risk automating away the very capacities that make us valuable.
You're talking about automating things like judgment, reflection.
Exactly. The messy, difficult, but incredibly meaningful struggle of figuring things out. We replace that struggle with frictionless output.
And we saw other commentary that echoed this, right? That most people aren't paid for deep thinking. They're paid for output. So if an AI can produce the output faster,
Then displacement becomes the real risk, not liberation. And another source made the point that what we call productivity is often just anxiety with structure. We feel pressure to fill every empty moment with more doing.
so if this paradox is real and the treadmill is just getting faster,
Yeah.
what's the solution? How do we approach this differently?
Well, according to Dr. Gerber, it all comes down to changing the questions we ask before we adopt a new tool. We have to be much more intentional.
Okay, so what's the first question?
The first one is, will this preserve meaningful work or will it eliminate it?
So making a distinction, like automating your spam filter is great. That's meaningless work.
Perfect example. That frees you up for deep work. But automating nuanced judgment or ethical choices, that eliminates the core of your professional value.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the next question?
Will this raise the bar for human labor or will it lower it? We have to think about that shadow of efficiency, like with the washing machine.
So is the AI handling the grunt work so the human can be more strategic? Or is the human now just a monitor for the AI, doing more but with less autonomy?
Exactly that. And the third question is about fairness. Who benefits and who bears the cost?
The classic cui bono.
Right. Think of the executive who now reviews 10 AI-generated reports. They benefit. But what about the analyst who used to pour their expertise into creating just 2 of those reports? Their meaningful contribution is gone. They bear the cost.
And the last question sounds like the most profound. The inefficiency paradox.
It is. The question is, are we solving a problem or are we actually creating a new, deeper one?
What do you mean by that?
Well, sometimes the things we call inefficiencies are actually where the important stuff happens. Think about a teacher grading papers. It's slow, it's messy,
Very inefficient.
but that's how they get to know their students. That's how they see where the struggles are. If you automate the grading, you might be automating away the very mechanism of connection and understanding.
Or like a tough negotiation.
Yeah.
The back and forth, the friction, that's where trust is built.
Yes. The messiness is where the relationship forms. If an algorithm just spits out the optimal answer, you lose all of that human texture.
So this all boils down to being radically intentional.
That's the invitation. We have to actively decide what to do with the time that AI frees up instead of just defaulting to filling it with more work, more volume.
We have to treat that time like an investment.
Exactly. Invest it in high-value, non-scalable human activities.
What does that look like practically?
It means having a real conversation, not on Slack, not an email. Sit down with a colleague or a mentor and just talk. That can't be scaled, and it's invaluable.
It also means using that freed up time to think about the truly important problem, not just the 10 urgent fires in your inbox.
Block out time for actual reflection. And this is a big one. Mentor someone. That kind of hands-on, iterative feedback and development is something AI can't replicate.
And I suppose the last one is the hardest for a lot of us.
It is. Just rest. Take a walk. Sit in silence. That unstructured time isn't waste. It's the fertile ground where creativity and new ideas come from.
So the goal shouldn't just be more efficiency. The goal has to be preserving our agency, our creativity, our humanity.
That's it. We have to make a conscious choice to protect the very friction and messiness that makes us smart, creative, and effective. The choice is ours, but it starts now.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.